What is order block in forex? What is order block strategy? Hello, this is Igor from FX Igor YouTube channel, and today we'll talk about one forex trading related expression that a lot of traders use, and we will reveal everything interesting about that. First, order blocks represents high volume orders, and they're generated by central banks or large institutions. Usually on the chart, you can see order blocks as a high volume supply and demand areas. Usually after these dramatic high volume trades, we can see some longer, maybe several days, several weeks, several months, major trends. But this is not situation for every single month. I will try to describe and give you some explanation related to recent news. You will see what I'm talking about. First, let me see this chart. This is the monthly chart for Euro-Swiss franc currency pair. If you see these three rectangles, they show some crazy spikes in the price, of course in the volume too, and this is not something that is completely by accident. All these spikes in price and new trends that form after these spikes are related to order blocks, and central banks and big players in the forex market created some chunk orders, several high, very high volume orders. It's a, 50, 100, 500 million dollars per trade. And after that, so huge trades, we have a strong, dramatically strong impact on the price. And I will just give you one example how that it's not so simple. First, as you know, we'll monitor the June of this year, 2022. We had two economic triggers almost in the same day. On the June 15 of 2022, the Fed voted to raise the target range for the federal funds rate to almost 1%. On the contrary, in the Europe, Swiss central bank surprised the market with the first rate hike since 2007. So we have interest rate increase in US dollar and in Swiss. So now we don't know what will happen. Where will the currency pair will go, because we have interest rate increase in both currencies almost in the same day. But what happened here is that Swiss franc increase, rate hike increase was some big surprise, something unexpected. And because of that, we saw a bearish trend after this news. But please see the volume. See the volume around the 15, 16, 17 June. It was a huge volume increase. I think maybe double increased the volume than it was the beginning of the June month. And after that, we can see that volume every single day was very high. After that, whole summer for US dollar Swiss franc. It was because this enormous important event create mindset and a lot of new high volume trades. But on this day, the central bank react, and the traders and the big dogs in the market react. So we can see how these order blocks and high volume trades can be very important for our traders, and we need to understand how we can react, how we can track, and how we can detect these situations. I will give you just completely different situation. It's a British pound US dollar. It's the moment when the world, especially America, said today we have a problem. We have a problem with COVID-19. It was a March 15, if I remember, and I think that all nations around in the middle of March figure out how COVID-19 is dangerous for our population. And what's happened then? Whole world had a problem, but the problem was the biggest for US because the US is the biggest economy. And in that moment, central banks and a lot of big traders create a high volume trades. Majority of them, we can see they started to just because of they are afraid because of this new situation, they started to remove their funds from investing and that created a lot of buy sell orders, some crazy spikes in trading, some huge order blocks, and after that we had volume decrease. In this case, not volume increase, but that event was highly volume event, and we get interesting situation for British dollar and the whole market, especially impact on US dollar. Now I will give you something fresh, something from the yesterday. Believe or not, on the Wednesday 28th September we had this kind of news. It was the BBC news, and it was Bank of England takes urgent steps to buy long-dated UK government bonds. The Bank of England has taken emergency action to calm turmoil in financial markets, aimed at collapse in the pound and increasing government borrowing costs triggered by Carnegie mini budget. So what's happened? We had a huge bearish trend for British pound. Actually, US dollar is so strong, and British pound went almost to 1. Believe or not, British pound and in the US dollar ratio 1 to 1. It's incredible, because just a year or two ago we had 1.3, 1.4, and 1.5 few years ago, and now the ratio is 1 to 1. British pound had really strong bearish trend last 2 months. And what's happened there, if we watch the chart, you can see the relative strength index that went on the September 26 around below 20. And usually when you see that on 15 or 20, you have in that area very dangerous low British pound US dollar. Bank of England wants to react. They react, and they try to do intervention. So on the September 28, 2022, British pound US dollar, we had bank intervention. So in the moment when I saw the news, I went and I watched hourly chart, and you can see what's happened. Huge volume, huge spike. I just want to tell you that in the moment of the lowest low of the British pound dollar, it was around 1, and in the moment after intervention of the central bank, we have 0.07 around. So it was a really strong, several hundred pips bullish trend. It's interesting. It's good for our traders, because using the news and intervention, we can enter in the buy trade and follow that short or maybe longer trend. So after these examples, we can ask ourselves, what is the order blocks trading strategy? So strategy is very simple. First, you need to be informed. You need to monitor news and everything that you can watch and get information in the forex industry. Second, you need to use volume indicators on the chart, so you can see when you have a huge spike, some crazy huge spike, and then when you see the spike and the huge spike in volume, you go to the news and you try to see, are there some intervention? Like I said, you can use a Google News to track bank intervention news, and you can watch economic calendar. So when I talk about news, you can go, for example, on Google and just type bank intervention. I would just do that and put past week, and you will see 3 hours ago, pension fund panic land to Bank of England emergency, blah blah blah. Then you have a bank intervention may not mark the end of market, and so on and so on. So you can see some big important news, and you can see what Central Bank of England says, what Central Bank of Fed from US said. So you can hear the voice, and you can see the plans. If you know the plan of the central bank, and if you know about the intervention, you can enter into trade and make very interesting and good trade. And on the end, just to remind you, we have a website, forex.nrs. This is our website, and all these videos that you watch on our channel, you can read on our articles in our website. You can go to forex.nrs and Forex calendar URL, and there you can see the high impact events. You can see a lot of interesting stuff related to economic news, and you can use for free this information, and I hope that it can help you in trading every day. So this was just one fundamental, I know for a lot of traders maybe not interesting topic, but I hope that you learned something and that you enjoyed to watch videos from our channel. I wish you a great day and bye bye.